Yeah guys, how are you? Today is Monday, obviously my day for storytelling. I said I'd say a story every Monday, you know, see what's up. I'm just come back from work, so I'm a bit tired, but I said I'd commit to my storytelling. Today I'm going to tell you a story about where I come from and basically what my roots are, basically what kind of gives me my identity of who I am, that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, so hold on. So yeah guys, so my family is from Chivo. That's my rural home, so that's where I come from. I come from Chivo. So basically, well, I grew up in Mutare because my dad grew up in Mutare. So I grew up in Mutare, but we used to go, my parents used to send us to Chivo not every holidays, but most holidays, you know. So the reason I used to love going to Chivo as a youngster was because, you know, I used to love bullfighting. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, the young kids are the ones that are responsible for the cattle. So every day I used to take them out for the day, take them cow herding and for the day and stuff like that. So I used to enjoy things like that because, you know, I love animals and stuff like that. So we used to have this bull in our village. It was a family bull. His name was Muaniri. Obviously, we're named after, that's from my great-grandfather. That was his name. So my grandfather gave that to my dad as a family name. So that's why we are called Muaniri. Otherwise, we're meant to be called Ruhukwa, which is a greater family name. So basically, we have this bull, right? And you know, every week you have to take the cattle to the cattle dip. You know, for the ticks and stuff, they go and they dip in the water and stuff like that. So I used to love that because the cattle dip was when all the action happened, like, you know. So Muaniri was the king of the cattle dip. There was no bull that could take him out, no bull at all that could take him out. And I just used to love it, like, you know, he was the kingpin, he was the village don, like, you know. So one holiday, I can't remember what year it was. One holiday, we went to, geez, hold on, I gotta get some fuel. So yeah, so one holiday, we went, it was me and my brother Oz, we went to Chivo for the holiday, and when I got home, obviously every time we got home, we always asked, what was up, you know, and you know, when it got to dusk, all the cattle came in, and we always went to check out our favorite bull. You know, it was a big black bull, like, you know, with nice kind of curvy horns. You know, man, he was a beast. But we got there and we're asking our grand, where's Muaniri? And she was like, we haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. And I was like, what? How come? And she was like, well, I don't know, you know. So I went and asked my cousins, and they were like, he was in a fight. And he finally lost a fight, and he lost to this bull called younger bull called Shangaji. You know, it was a bull in our village as well, from another family of ours, from another family in our village, you know, relatives. So he defeated him, and Muaniri ran off. You know, kind of ran off, and they couldn't. Not that they couldn't find him, but you couldn't convince, you can't make a bull go where it doesn't want to go. So they just kind of left him alone for the 2 weeks, didn't bother looking for him and everything. And I was like, nah, no ways, how is that possible, you know? So what we did was that me and my cousin, I got my cousin Brian, I said, no, we gotta go find Muaniri. No ways. How come my favorite bull, I mean, we'd never seen this bull being defeated before. I said, how can my favorite bull be defeated? No ways. That can't happen. No ways. So we went and we looked for him. We found him. He was grazing somewhere. And usually when you met him, you know, you just make a sound. So we used to go, brrr, Muaniri. Brrr. That would route him up, you know, And so basically we got him going, you know, we got him going, got him ready for the fight, and he started walking back home. Whether he recognized me or he didn't recognize me, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a whole cultural thing to the bull, like, I don't know, I can't explain these kind of things. But basically, we walked him back to the village. And the interesting thing about bulls is that it's like when they're still far away from each other, it's like they can still sense each other. So the bulls were just bellowing at each other. Boo, brr, brr. And you know, he'd be digging into the ground. He'd be kind of, you know, in the bushes with his horns and stuff like that. And we was like, the fight is on, the fight is on. Come on, Wally. So basically what happened was that they clashed. They made up and they clashed. I swear to God, these bulls fought for 45 minutes. I was sitting there. We were sitting there like we're watching a movie. We were just sitting there in a row and just watching this fight. They fought for 45 minutes. Now what happened was that because Mwaniri was a bit older, he was a real tactical bull, you know. So basically he'd beat you with his horns because his horns are kind of curving in. So whenever he kind of did this, you know, that would dig into the meat of the other bull like. But this other one, it was a big red bull, big brown bull, and he had horns that kind of came out, went forward, went up again. You know, that's how big his horns were. But basically, he was just a bigger, younger, more powerful, you know, young bull. And basically, he had no horn tactics. All he did was push Mwaniri back, and it was on a slope as well. So he just kept pushing him back, pushing him back, pushing him back, pushing him back, and he kept using. Oh man, I can't explain it any more than that. But basically, Mwaniri ran off. He ran off again. He lost that fight again, and he ran off. So yeah, he ran off, and I kind of chased after him like a little boy would, little fan. I ran after him, and basically he wouldn't come back, and then he actually chased me, and I had to jump over barbed wire. And I actually have a scratch. I think I said this story before. I actually have a scar on my leg from when he kind of chased me. I had to jump up wire, and so I got 3 marks on my leg. So basically, yeah. So he won that fight. He lost that fight. And but you know what? The thing about this story is like it's one of my favorite stories to tell. I think I've said it on Facebook like more than 4 or 5 times. But the thing about it is that is like. It's my identity. Like this bull is kind of represents my identity because like from Chivo, what they used to do was that, you know, they would take my great grandfather when he passed away. So they do like a ceremony where they take his spirit and put it in a young bull. So basically, Mwaniri kind of represented my great grandfather, you know. So in a way, he's like a family bull. He's like a great grandfather or something like that. So I don't know, it just fascinates me, our tradition in Zimbabwe, our tradition, our totem, because my totem is Moyo Sinyoro. That's like my heart, that's my family totem. And that whole kind of traditional system, I think that it helps you as a person with your identity, you know, because I mean, I'm not Westerner. I'm not, you know, I'm not from here. I have my own culture, I have my own roots. So stories like these, you know, that you're told when you're young, they kind of stick with you. And that's what I'm trying to, you know, represent in the world. Isn't like, you know, even though some people might think it's a rural story or whatever, but that's what I am. That's what represents me. That's what my family is. You know, people from the cities, especially in Zimbabwe, they're like, I don't want to go to the rural areas, you know, because they want to be snobby and posh and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, that's where you come from, you know. You're not a Westerner, like, you know. That's where you come from. That's your identity, like, you know. And for me, that bull represented my family, represents my great-grandfather. And like, I love it, like, you know, I love it. And I would never get tired of telling that story. I will always tell that story. And basically, after he got defeated, I mean, we went back to the city, back to school. And I heard, yeah, they killed him and they ate him. Well, that's normal anyway. His time was over, but he did his thing, you know. Mwaniri, he did his thing, you know. But yeah, so till the next Monday, take it easy.